We're here at Village MD headquarters to talk about our own star ratings in real life. Mike Robbins, how do you feel about star ratings for various services like Uber?
Star ratings are very important, but they're also difficult to read.
Okay, explain more. How has it affected you personally?
It's affected me not to the extent that I haven't been able to be picked up by an Uber, which I do believe that in the near future they've released something saying that if you are below a certain score, you're not going to be picked up. So I'm a proud owner of a 4.8 plus Uber rating. So I don't think I'm at any risk of not being picked up. But you know, when I'm comparing that Uber rating to coworkers, they could have a 4.9. It's disappointing.
So do you keep track of it?
Yes.
Not only of your own, but also of others?
Of course.
Can you tell us about your tracking system?
No. It's confidential.
It's confidential.
But it is on a spreadsheet.
Confidential information. It's proprietary.
It's proprietary.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's protected on the same level that we do PHI, right?
That's right. You work in legal, you understand.
Yeah.
We can't share this.
We have a guest whose rating is a little bit lower, so we're going to hide their identity for their own safety. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Happy to be here.
How do you feel about star ratings for various services like Uber?
I like it when it works in my favor, but in the case of Uber, it's not always working in my favor. So not a huge fan of the ratings.
Do you keep track of it on a regular basis?
I do. I know exactly what my rating is. It's on Uber, it's about a 4.6. Amongst people I know, it's about the lowest that I know of. So,
And has your rating ever impacted your service?
it has. Sometimes I notice that for some reason, nearby drivers are no longer nearby after I've opened up the app and have requested a ride. So I think that every once in a while I can see maybe a little bit longer time to actually getting a ride. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
Welcome to Working Smarter, Concise Compliance Conversations, featuring Wendy Rubis, sponsored by Village MD, primary care physicians, practice medicine the way you've always wanted, data, resources, and clinical decision support to care for your patients inside and outside the exam room.
Well, now that we've established that personal ratings can be a trigger, and we all despise them, let's talk about the CMS rating system. Most people hopefully know, but if you don't, you should know. CMS has been exploring star ratings and putting in place star ratings for healthcare facilities for many years. I think the first one was skilled nursing facilities, and when that came out, there was a huge uproar. Because the bottom line is, it's a data model. We know this about data models. Data models are always wrong, but sometimes are helpful. And so people quibble and argue about what are the measures, do they really represent quality, can they be gamed, they always lag, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so there was a lot of uproar in the industry. They started with skilled nursing, then they went to hospital, and they've moved through. And so almost every type of Medicare entity, Medicare certified entity now has a star rating, and you can find these on cms.gov, and you should find them, even as a patient. Even as a person who works in healthcare, they're not 100% accurate in terms of a good predictor of reliability, but they do tell you something. So star ratings are here to stay, no matter how we feel about them. And the main point that we want to convey to our listeners is they've now come into the world of physicians.
Physicians at like a smaller practice level, not physicians in hospitals anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, hospitals have already been rated on their quality. Hospitals are rated. Now we're going to the physician level. And that's newish and ominous in some ways for folks. So this was passed as a part of MACRA, which was in 2016. And there's sort of two things that are available. There's a profile, then there's additional data that you can download. And so as of 2019, many different data elements were added. When they announce the star ratings, it usually takes years for everyone to agree what the right rating systems are. And then there's like hundreds of pages about
in
you
getting
have to
the
validate.
data.
Yes. And so it's taking some time to make this effective. But the point is, as of 2019, there is data available for physicians.
So how are these physician level ratings work? Is it for the individual practice or is it for the individual physician? Does that make sense?
Yes, and I have to tell you that we tried to invite several people to come and talk to us about this. We called experts, we called lawyers, and nobody would talk to us because this is so new that a lot of people do not yet understand it, and it's very difficult to know where CMS is going. But what we think is the case is that data is available for every physician, but individual star ratings are for physicians that are doing the quality reporting system.
Oh, okay.
All other patient ratings are done as a group. So it really depends on how you're reporting your quality data, okay? If you're reporting it through the ACO, then it's on a separate level. Again, the star rating may not be
It's sort
at
of
the personal level.
rolled into the quality reporting, and it's on a different level. It's
But
not
don't hold
necessarily-
us to this yet, because this is all evolving. And as I said, a little difficult to kind of tell where they're going with this. If I could just leave you with one important message, every physician should check their data. It is not unusual or impossible for the data to be wrong. So we're going to show you an example of our chief medical officer. This is the way his profile page looks. Everyone has a profile page, and you can see there some detail about him. Does he do certain quality things? And then starting in 2019, these additional measures are on the profile. If you are still curious, you can go in and download a file that have these measures.
And this is all on the CMS Physician Compare website.
Right. It's a good thing to look at. Everyone should check it out. If you have questions or if you need more clarification, we'd be happy to try to help, or go to CMS. If you're working with VillageMD, we have programs in place to work on each one of these quality measures. And of course, quality is paramount in everything that we do at VillageMD. So hopefully no one gets too triggered about their star rating. We all have to have compassion for our physicians who are getting rated, because this is very invasive sometimes and intense. But together we can figure this out, and we'll keep watching this as this evolves over the next coming years.
Thank you to our sponsor, VillageMD. We hope you will join us for future concise compliance conversations.